Across the United States of America, the first day of school for many children is already in the books, including for my 8th grade year-round homeschool daughter. Today in this video, we're going to talk about, is the pandemic achievement gap a real thing? Although most kids have been prepared with their new materials, new textbooks for the next grade level have been issued, the truth about the pandemic achievement gap is that some kids, not all, some kids just don't feel prepared for the next grade level, right? Now they're in the next grade level. Teachers are prepared to advance to the next level of curriculum. And the truth is, some kids just aren't ready. It's no secret that the way teaching and learning took place during the pandemic was way different. And honestly, that's to no fault of anyone. So don't go pointing fingers at anyone, because that won't help the situation or your child. How do you know if your child is one of those kids who actually maybe experienced a gap in learning? How do you know? How do you know if there was a gap in acquiring the skills that they need now to be ready for the next grade level? In this video, we're going to dive into what you can do as a parent and maybe some tips as an educator as well. I do say that the pandemic achievement gap is a real thing. But the most important thing that you can do as a parent, a guardian, is focus on your child or your children. Don't focus on the gap as a country as a whole, as you hear about it on the news or statistics or you read things. Don't focus on it as a country as a whole or as a class. Focus on your individual children, right? Because that's where your focus and energy needs to lie. I think it's important as you're starting a new school year that you look at the testing data from the end of the school year last year. As a parent, you do have a right or a privilege to be able to access any testing data that was gathered or files on your child. I would say look at it. There's no harm in asking. And in fact, I know many teachers as an educator over 15 years who would be so happy that you are actually inquiring about how you can help at home with closing a learning gap if there is one present. So don't neglect asking to look at those end of the year testing data or results for your child to see, hey, is there a gap and what can I do to help at home? Now, analyze the pre-assessments that are given at the beginning of the year. The prefix pre means before. So before, many educators, if they're good ones, before they start teaching, they're going to give pre-assessments to figure out what skills each and every individual student have before going into new content. Do they have the prerequisites to be able to begin learning content at a specific level? Any good educator will do that. So with that said, if great educators are giving pre-assessments, pay attention when those notices come home. When they say, hey, we're going to begin our beginning of the year testing on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Make sure your child is rested. Pay attention. Be a partner with them. Talk to your child about it. Make sure they're rested. Make sure they get their breakfast. And actually talk to them about trying their best. Now, if you know that your child has testing anxiety, which is a thing, or if you know already before you click play on this video that your child does have a learning achievement gap, then talk to them about, hey, this might be hard. You know, mommy, daddy, we understand this is going to be hard for you, but try your best. And every day during those pre-assessment days or those beginning of the year testing days, talk to them about the experience. It'll make a difference. The reason those pre-assessments are so important is because they give you valuable feedback about what needs to be done in order for your child to begin learning content, or maybe even go back to content that they did not acquire and figure out where that gap lies. Even me, as a homeschooling parent, before I begin a new course, a new skill, or a new level of anything, I'm always going to give a pre-assessment, because this allows me as the educator and parent, in this case, because I homeschool my 8th grader, this allows me to see where I need to focus my time and energy, or where she might need more focus, or where her teachers that we've hired or contracted or tutors need to focus. So looking at the pre-assessment data and data from last school year will help you figure out if you hire a teacher and you invest in that way in a tutor, hey, I need you to focus on this, this, and this. This is where it revealed that there's a gap or my child struggles. I already said this, but I want to say it again because as parents, we tend to compare our children's progress to other people. Just don't. Look at your child's achievement and that's it. Don't compare it to what everybody else is doing in the class, right? Even though you know what your child needs to do to get to the next level. But if you're really, really, really serious about closing an achievement gap, comparing your child to someone else is futile. That comparison is not going to help you close the gap. So don't even fall into the trap. Comparison is a thief of joy, and don't do that to you or your child. Now, I said this in my last video, and I'm going to say it again. Invest well in your children's education before the college years. Many people think that they don't have to pay for educational resources or support until, hey, college, that's when I start paying for it. But I do think we as parents, we need to be able to invest well in their education before that time comes, before college. I say the new shoes, the new clothes, the new hair, that's all cute, but a happier, confident child as they go into the school every day is even cuter than the new shoes, new clothes, new hair. So invest well in educational resources just like you invest well in the new shoes, new hair, new clothes, whatever. As an educator, I know that the children who do not have learning achievement gaps, they just have a better school experience most times, right? They don't experience the stress of not knowing new content when it's being presented sometimes in a whole group setting. So why not invest well early in your child's education? Even my advanced 8th grader, she shows learning gaps, right? So when I pinpoint those learning gaps, I'm going to look into my schedule, my time, my budget to see how I can invest and bring in other people who can help close those gaps, right? So that she can continue to advance to the next level without feeling as much stress or maybe not feeling as supported as she needs to. Her old sneakers from last year look perfectly fine, but her time with her new Spanish teacher, her new math teachers is even more valuable than me buying her a new pair of shoes right now. If you're like, look, Sherrie, I didn't even buy new shoes, I didn't buy new hair, I didn't buy new clothes, I don't have the money for that. I'm going to encourage you to look for free community resources. I know that they're out there. How do I know that they're out there? Because this homeschool mama just finished signing up her 8th grader for free services, right? In addition to the paid services that our family invests in. So there are free services, whether it be through your library, your school, especially if they're considered what we call Title I back in the day. There are free tutoring services that you can take advantage of, right? So check out the links in my description box to be able to find some of those resources if you're local to me. And if you're not local to me, in the description box, you're going to find my email address, website address, contact information, and maybe we could talk about what I can do to help you begin the search or pinpoint free resources in your area, or what you can do to maybe work in partnership with me to help close a learning achievement gap if you notice that your child has one. Now, as always, if you found anything helpful in this video, go ahead and click like and subscribe, and also share it with another family. Share it on your social media feeds. Also, I would like for you to check out some of the other playlists on the channel with similar content, and check back on Fridays because that's when I tend to post videos. When this baby isn't giving me a run for my money. So check back on Fridays, guys. I'd love to have you here as a part of this growing community, so don't forget to click subscribe. See you in the next one.